All right, guys, welcome back to the Spin Zone podcast with me, Cake Eater. We also got Vile, who's cleaning some stuff up right now. We
I
also
was.
got,
I was.
then we also got Chad. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Good. I was just tidying up. I didn't want everyone to see my several jugs of KY lube back there. Got to keep that private.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special guest. He is not new to this podcast at all. Some may call him Wacko, but us here in the Minnesota scene call him third place winner at the Red Rumble Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Wacko Carnival. What's going on, man? How are you?
Woo!
Nothing much. Third place at
See,
Redline and third time on the podcast. Here we go.
Hey.
see, there you go. Do people actually has anyone actually come up to you, Wacko, instead of being like, "Hey, Wacko, what's up?" They're like, "Hey, third place winner at the Red Line Rumble. How you doing today, brother?"
I think someone did. I can't remember who. I'm 90% sure someone did.
That's
That is a
fantastic.
long thing to call someone. Just call him third place at Rumble.
Third place at Rumble Wacko Carnival. But it is always an honor to have you on, sir. But yeah,
Honored to
we
be
are
here.
basically going to be kind of going through Beyblades and also talking about the event, the good, the bad, the ugly of the Red Rumble event that occurred.
Ooh.
We've all heard some things about what happened at the Red Line Rumble, and we're about to get up in there. So speak about being up in there, Chad. If people want to get up into some good Beyblade product, where should they be going?
Well, I'm glad you asked because there are literally two places that we highly recommend you get your Beyblades from. And starting off with the one, the only, the classic, we got to talk about Bays and Bricks, where you can save 7% off of your order by using code SPINZONE at checkout. That's SPINZONE for 7% off your order. And then they're new, but they still deserve some love. Give it up for Mall of Toys and their 5% discount code using code SPINZONEPODCAST.
Absolutely. If you guys want to contribute to the Spin Zone podcast, definitely go to baysandbricks.com. Use code SPINZONE at checkout. And also go to molatoys.com and use code SPINZONE podcast for 5% off your order. All those proceeds go back into the podcast for giveaways and everything else. So we do appreciate
Yeah.
all the love and appreciation for all you guys that have been already using and have already used the code for one or both stores. So let's kind of get into the
Well,
thick.
Cake, hold on.
No,
Cake, we got something real important to say. Okay, there's something real important here.
go ahead.
Guys,
Uh-oh.
if you want to get scammed and you want to get ripped off and you don't care about your money, go to beybladepodcast.com where they will take your money and never send you a product. And if you do get a product, it'll be a counterfeit from God knows where. So beybladepodcast.com is where you go if you want to flush your money down the toilet. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming to his TED
He's
Talk.
not even wrong. That's the worst part. Where was the lie? Where was the lie in that?
I mean that site's a straight up scam, right? Like everyone can have their
Yeah.
opinions
Well,
about other sites,
absolutely.
but that one is a scam, like legitimately.
Yep,
No,
everyone's
and we already mentioned it when it came to stores, but like there's only one store that we really don't want you to spend money at, and that's Buy Beyblades. If you spend money at another store, like go ahead. Like we can't stop you. We can't judge you. All the others have their pros and their cons, but Buy Beyblade is by far the worst place to be spending your money.
Anyway, let's kind of get to the meat and the potatoes of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about that Michigan over in Ypsilanti for that red Honda Civic. If you want to actually call it red, it was more of a
Yeah.
like a
It
rust
did not
bucket.
exactly get the wrap it was supposed to get. It got some stickers. That's what it got.
It got stickers. It got a lot of things.
Oh,
But for a 200 plus people tournament, how do you think everything kind of went together overall?
Before I say anything about the tournament, I just want to say that I've got nothing but respect for Burr and all the other people involved in organizing it. At the end of the day, I think they ran a good event. There might have been some hiccups along the way, but they at the end of it all, they pulled together a good event, and I think a lot of people made a lot of good memories at it.
True.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Can you ask the question again? I forgot what I was supposed to be answering.
Oh my God.
I had my
Shorter.
thing in mind, and then I forgot everything else.
It was a short attention span, just like the Red
Mm.
Line Rumble. How do you think the experience was overall to the Red Line?
I think by the end of it, they kind of got everything locked in by maybe round 3 or 4. I'd say at the start it was a little shaky, but registration I
Mm.
think took a little longer than planned, but
Oh,
they got there in the end.
so not just right off the rip, it kind of got better with age, kind of thing.
Got better with age. I love it.
Hmm. Someone has paparazzi at their
Sorry, someone
door.
walked in my room.
Someone has
Yeah,
paparazzi.
Oh dear.
they worked through the issues as they came up, I think, as best they could.
So overall, it wasn't an awful tournament. Do you say so?
No, definitely not.
No.
I
Okay,
would
so
hope
Wacko,
not.
let's kind of start with giving people an idea of the lengths that you went to get to this event. Now, my understanding is you guys set off from Minnesota, bright and early at around 6 a.m. Saturday morning?
Mm.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I think nobody got there super late, so it would have been around 6.
Yeah. So, and then what time did you arrive in Michigan? And viewers, please remember that they did skip ahead an hour moving into Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was roughly like a 10-hour drive, and then we had a couple stops. I think we got to the Airbnb around 6 p.m.
So that'd be
Okay.
Okay. So,
10 or 6 a.m. to basically 5 CST.
I have a
yeah.
notoriously horrible memory, but probably only off by a couple hours there.
Like, give or
So
take.
so
Okay.
about 11 hours. That's I mean, listen, I'm not going to say that's not a lot because it is, but there's definitely longer drives, I guess. So
Yeah.
once you got there, did you guys link up with any of the local players on Saturday night, or you just kind of stay at the Airbnb and keep to yourselves?
We didn't end up linking up with any local players. We spent a lot of time. Yeah, we set up the stadium stands. We had a bit of a backyard area. So when we had
Ooh.
daylight, we had all the stadium stands out back there. I think there's some pictures floating around of that. But
There
then we
are.
moved inside once we ran out of daylight and kept practicing in there. We got some good practice in before the event.
So now, Wacko, real quick, did you want to let all the viewership know what type of stands you were using to practice on at the
Oh, of
Airbnb?
course I would. It was the Wayward Spin Stands. Best in the business.
Woo!
See, that's
Absolutely.
what's up. That's what's up.
You can see
Wayward
one
does great.
over there. It's right behind me. There it is.
Hey,
Yeah, Wayward
great
does
work.
great work. If you would like to get a Wayward spin stand, you can talk to Wayward at a local event if you're here in Minnesota. Otherwise, you can send him a message on Discord at Wayward 1453
And,
1453.
and if you guys are not too sure or just kind of forget, definitely check out his name. It will be down in the description area below as well. Definitely go check them out. These stands are blowing up all over the place, going from Minnesota, Michigan, even overseas. So these are definitely something that every Beyblader needs is a Wayward spin stand. So definitely go check him out. Huge supporter of the podcast. So nothing but love for Wayward and his products.
Now, Wacko, you guys did some practicing, maybe a few of you enjoyed a few brewskis or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
what time would you say everyone's kind of turning in to make sure they were up and well rested for the morning?
Probably stayed up a bit later than we should. I think I ended up going to bed at like 11, 12. Again, notoriously horrible memory, but that sounds right to me in my head.
So, I mean, that's
Fair enough.
not too crazy. What time did you guys feel like you had to be up the next morning? I know there was kind of a sliding scale because I'm aware one of your party members was still on the wait list, right? So Joe Star wanted to make
Yeah.
sure that he got there bright and early to make sure he was first in line for the wait list, correct?
Yep, that was true. We beat the organizers there. We were the first people at the venue.
Holy mackerel!
Which
The
is wild.
organizers?
Yeah, I think we ended up getting to the venue at like 8:30, 9 o'clock,
Gracious.
somewhere around there. And we definitely got Joe on the wait list, that's for sure. But I don't think it would have mattered because pretty much everybody who was there from the wait list got to play.
Yeah,
Which-
yeah.
That's fair.
So I guess that would be the first kind of like major thing that I like to touch on about the event itself was um as far as I was aware, there were 256 people signed up for on the challenge, and there was over 100 people on the wait list. I think the combined total is right around 400, give or take. Um, and there was actually only 200 players who made the trip out there for the event. Is that correct?
Yep, 200 on the dot, I think.
Oh, was it right on the dot?
Yep.
Yeah, literally on the dot.
Oh, I thought it was like
Cool.
just a give or take one or two, but 200 on the dot. That is wild.
Yeah. No, it was so wild that I actually like asked them, like some of the people who were there, like, "Hey, did they lower the cap to 200, like on at site? Like, what happened?" You know, but it was just happenstance, I guess. So
Jeez.
you guys get there, right? And you said registration took a fair amount longer than anticipated. Maybe you didn't say that, but that's what I've heard. It was
No,
a fair
it
amount longer
definitely
than
was
anticipated.
true. Yeah.
Um, and while you guys were waiting for everyone to get registered and for everything to get situated, what did you guys find yourselves doing? Were you guys practicing? Were you just hanging out and chatting? Were you trying to meet up with different Baytubers? Like, what was those first few hours of being in the building like?
Kind of a mix of everything. We got there, we set up the Minnesota vending corner that Egg and Wayward were running. And then, because we had that vending corner, we kind of ended up having like our own little area in the corner that we kind of took over. But so that was nice for hanging out.
Minnesota making
But
their
Yeah, I heard that.
marks.
I heard
Yep.
the Minnesota Mafia was in full effect. You guys had bodyguards keeping people out of your area and everything, trying to take over neighboring areas. Sound like it's a good time.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, but we had other things going on. We were practicing in the stadiums. I'm sure you guys saw that one clip of the stadium rail popping out like mid-round. I think that also happened
Whoa.
when somebody was practicing in it, but I'm not sure. That
Holy
stadium was
moly.
funky. You guys haven't seen that?
No, it was
No, I haven't.
Oh,
it was
I don't
one of
know
the red
where that was
lines.
posted. It was yeah, I think it was. It was posted somewhere. Maybe
Oh
I'm
my
just
God.
making things up, but I don't think I am.
I don't
Someone
think
try
you
and-
are.
actually
I'll try
someone
and dig up that clip later.
no, someone up in my TikTok chat said that it was theirs. So let me see if I can try to pull that up then. That's wild.
So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
heard
those
that there.
stadiums were getting used. I'm not super shocked something broke.
Yeah. There's a reason that this past weekend I started. I mean, other people have been doing it, but I was kind of making sure it was done this time. We turn them upside down when we're not actually, in the middle of
Yeah.
a round.
Yeah.
To try to stop unnecessary wear. Because listen, I understand everyone wants to free play and have fun, but we just don't need extra wear on the stadiums.
Yeah, we're in a stadium shortage right now. Amazon's done. They haven't sold them in like a month.
It's wild. It's over a month, I think. It's wild. The lowest price I've heard for a standalone stadium right now is $80. And I think that's why Mall of Toys, who was offering the new set, the CX16 set, at the great price of $100, the reason they're sold out right now is because everyone's like, well, why the hell wouldn't I just get the set for $100 when I have to pay $80 for a stadium by itself?
Exactly.
Because then
At
they
that
get the
point,
Bahamut, they
Bahamut
get
and
the
the launcher's a good
launcher.
deal.
And then they get a handle too if they don't have a handle yet. It's great. So I think that really helps stimulate sales of CX16, and I think that's why Mall of Toys, as well as other sites that a lot of people use. I know Spin City I think was a little bit higher than Mall of Toys on price, but they're sold out too. It's just sold out. It seems to be almost everywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know I was able to go to a store this past weekend over in South Dakota. Shout out to Izzy's Gym over in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. They got a lot of Beyblade stuff, and luckily they actually have some uh stadiums there, so I was able to get one for myself and also one for one of our Minnesota people. So, but online, yeah, they're so hard to find.
Well, and the bottom line is like it's great that Izzy's hasn't jacked the price way up just because they
No,
definitely could right now.
yeah,
But
Hmm.
once they sell out of that current wave, if they get more in, they're going to have to bump the price up because they're going to have paid more for them. You know, like
Hmm.
because I've noticed even the workarounds people normally use, you know, going to different Japanese or Chinese vendors for this type of stuff, even they have understood what's going on over here, so they have chosen to bump their prices up a little bit as well. You know, um, it's pretty nuts. So back to
yeah.
the event, wacko. So you
Yeah.
guys were hanging out, you're chilling, you're letting it rip, you're talking. You know, Egg's probably selling some balance tools, right? Um, and then finally the announcement comes, hey, we're going to get started. How did all that go? Were the announcements clear? Was everything, did you understand what you were supposed to be doing?
Well, before that happened, I had a little
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
debacle, my own personal thing, nothing to do with the event, more to do with potential red arrow durability issues, which we
Oh,
can
I
talk
heard
about
about
later. But
this.
I was
What?
practicing with my red arrow a lot the day before, and like this thing's near mint, mind you, a lot before, like the day before and the day of the event, and I notice like half the ratchet keeps popping off, so like it's half bursting. And I'm trying to figure out why. Like, am I going to sub arrow out for this event? What am I going to do here? I look at it and I see half the, like, there's the little sticking out part on the bottom of the blade that holds the lip of the ratchet. Like, half of
Yep.
that flat part is sheared off. It's gone. So that's why it's half bursting. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? I have the choice of either playing arrow for this event in this half burst state, I can sub it out, or I can buy a new red arrow on the spot for $140. And I bought a new red arrow on the spot for $140.
Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
know you were hoping to wait till you got back to Minnesota and maybe get one a little cheaper, but that's not the way it played out.
No, I wish it
Now,
was.
now real quick, let's talk about this because there's been a lot of speculation lately. There's been some people, I would say the majority of what I've heard is people are blaming the 150 and the fact that it got a little nook or something in there that's a little different than the 60, 70, and 80 series. But I've also heard some people make the claim that the arrows, like the clear plastic they're using to hold the ratchet on the bottom of the arrow, is maybe a little weaker than it could potentially be. Um, what's your opinion on this? Is your opinion don't use 150s on Beyblades you care about, or do you think it's unique to Arrow that this is happening?
I'm honestly not sure because I mean, at the end of the day, it was the arrow that broke, not the ratchet or anything. But that could have been caused by the ratchet. It could have been caused by plastic
Mhm.
issues.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think we have enough data to know yet. But I haven't heard reports of 150 damaging anything else. It's kind of just arrow. So we're
Yeah,
in a
I
weird spot right now. We kind of just need more info to figure out what's going on, or if it's all just a big coincidence.
yeah, I know me
Mm.
personally. I run my 150 on my shark scale, and I personally haven't had any issue, especially over this past weekend where I ran it in a tournament and it's still fine. So it might be something underneath the arrow. It might be just the weight of the arrow versus just the weight of the shark. It it could be a lot of different kind of variables.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that seems to be clear is that the 150 is functionally, and not just the 150, the 450 too. I think it's just more noticeable on the 150.
Hmm.
It is functionally a little different than the 60, 70, and 80 series, and people probably should be paying attention to that. Like, I'm not telling anyone like, never use your 150. I guess what I'm saying is do your own testing, and probably do your own testing on a Hell's Hammer you got from Five Below. Probably not on your Aero Pegasus or your Orochi cluster or something like that, you know?
Yeah, until we know what's
Bait.
going on, be careful with it because we don't know.
Yeah. And I don't think there's enough talking about it, although I'm starting to wonder because we know that they've pulled, I don't want to say pulled, but there are now fulfillment delays with Red Arrow on the TT Mall, and that could just be straight up because of demand. You know, we know that the Wizard Arc had some demand issues. I think lately, they're not shipping any more of those until late September. I found out today. I was I was trying to help Psychopomp redeem one from TT, and I'm like, listen, man, it might be a little bit of a delay. I heard some things, and he can pre-order it with his code he got from the app. Delivery late September.
Yeah,
My
that's me and
Ooh.
my Wizard Arc right now. So yeah, people are just redeeming those codes right now.
Yeah, so I don't know if the Red Arrow, being that kind of same way right now, if that's just a demand and supply issue, or maybe potentially TT is trying to fix the mold or make a new one or whatever. Because it feels really bad. This isn't a bay that you can go out and buy at Target for $10 or $15. You
I
know,
wish.
these things
Yeah.
are expensive. They're hard to get, and especially for people outside of Asia, like it's tough.
Oh
It's
yeah.
tough. So, Wacko, you talked about your Red Arrow issues, and I'm sorry that you had to, maybe pay a little more than you were hoping,
Yeah.
from the vendor there. Now, once that was all sorted, they called you guys over for announcements. Now, were those nice and clear? Did you understand what you were supposed to be doing?
We There was a lot of confusion at the start of the event, I think. It was a completely different format from the start of the event to the end of the event. At the start of the event, I would say they were calling a lot of the matches from the PA system. They had one guy doing it. It worked, but if they ever ran into a situation where like one guy just wasn't hearing it or they left and didn't tell anybody, then it kind of ground things to a halt for a while. But
Mm.
it worked out eventually.
Yeah, I heard, it was a great idea to have a PA system, right? We've even started using mini PAs here in Minnesota for announcements at events with far less than 200 people. Um, I think the one thing I had heard was that it maybe wasn't quite loud enough for the size of the venue and the amount of people there. Sometimes people were talking and things like that. Is that correct?
I would agree. I think they probably would have needed like another one toward the back of the mini golf course. I don't know how possible that is, but if they wanted to like make sure the people in like the gazebo area could have heard, for example, then they would have needed
Was
like a little more.
was that was that kind of look, we'll get into this a little later, but um do you think that it was tough because there were people both inside and outside to get everyone to their matches in a timely manner?
The start, yes. By the end of it, they kind of sorted the problem by just getting everybody to find their own partners, which, you know, I thought it was going to be chaos. It worked. It got things going.
There we go.
So then so they make their announcements, you start round one. Now,
Yeah.
I'd heard that either part way through round one or maybe the beginning of round two, they almost stopped trying to call out the matches and instead they were essentially telling you guys, hey, go find your partner and then report to an open stadium. Is that more or less what wound up happening?
That's pretty accurate. I think it was slightly later than round one, but maybe it was starting in round one and I just didn't know about it. But yeah, that is eventually the process change they made. They were trying to call it, it wasn't working, and then everybody just like start finding your partners, and that ended up working better.
So you have to go find a needle in a haystack out of the whole pool and find your opponent and then hopefully find an open stadium.
Pretty much, they got name tags eventually, so name
Yeah,
tags
Eventually.
helped.
I heard that. I heard that at some point during the day there was a large order placed on DoorDash or similar for both bottled water and name tags. Is that correct?
That is accurate. At the start of the event, there was not water. That was an issue that I think a lot of tournaments are
Mm.
definitely going to learn from, that providing water is a very good thing to do. But
At least
yeah,
one
we
for
got water
free.
by the end of it for sure. We got lucky because we went and bought a 24 case before we showed up because thanks to the Spin Zone podcast, we knew there wasn't going to be water, so we
Hey!
prepared.
Yeah, and I think that's one of those situations where, yeah, Burr definitely broadcast that on the podcast the week before the event, and that was great for the people who caught the podcast. But I'm sure a lot of people didn't, and
Yeah.
they probably
That's
were
their fault.
assuming at minimum there was going to be a drinking fountain or something, and that just wasn't how things worked out. So it was good that they did identify that was a problem, even if it was, partway through the event, and then stepped up and sorted it out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So how did your first round go? Tell us about your first round. Were you nervous? Were you like like tell us a little bit about the first round of play, how you felt about it.
First round, let me pull it up. I believe. Oh, where did it go? I had this open. There we go. Group stage. Just need to remind myself what my round one was like.
How many rounds were there?
There was 8 rounds? Yeah, there was 8 rounds. 8 rounds of
Eight
Swiss.
8 rounds of Swiss, which is wild.
Okay, there, I got the challenge pulled up again. So, first round, I played pretty well. I was pretty nervous going into it. That's kind of always how I am. I usually get tournament nerves going into it, and then depending on how round one and two goes, those will either settle or get worse. But round one went really well. I ended up winning 4-1, so that was good.
Hey, there you go.
That seemed to be a pattern with how rounds were going. I'd be interested to do more like research into this, but it seemed like every single one of my rounds was either like 4-0, 4-1 in my favor, or I got
Ooh.
destroyed 0-4.
Mm.
Except for one round that was really close, but it was just like one person getting all the points in almost every round. I'm just interested if that's a
Mm.
first to four thing, because that's not the usual format we play. I'd want to do more research into it, but
So
Well, I was about to
did you
say, considering
go
we
ahead,
just
Chad?
had that big tournament recently where we kind of applied the same rule, I will say from the couple of people that I talked to about the new rules, they did say they noticed that not only did obviously games go very quickly, but they also noticed like there wasn't as much of a comeback story with a lot of the people because it was kind of just like well,
Hmm.
you either do great in the beginning or you don't really get a chance to pull back up into the leaderboards.
yeah,
Which
that
is
tends to be
true.
how it is. In first to four, there's a lot more like combinations of points that will just end the game in 2 rounds compared to first to
Hmm.
five.
Yeah.
So just by the nature of that, it tends to go quicker, which with an event with 200 people, you kind of need to happen. So first to four was the logical choice, I think. But
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of us may prefer first to five on a local basis, but I do think once you get up 150, 200, 250 players, you got to start thinking about not just what my personal preference or your personal preference or whoever's might be, but what makes the most sense from getting these people in, getting the matches started, and getting them done and out the door in a reasonable time frame.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's always the number one thing because we've had a tournament where we didn't get out until like past midnight, and that was just a super
Mm,
super long day.
that was a fun day though.
It was a
That
great
was
day,
fun.
absolutely great day, but probably nothing to the caliber of what the red line was for sure.
yeah, we'll be talking about after midnight eventually because it went longer than
Well,
that.
and that's the thing. You can say I had a ton of fun at an event, but objectively, like Chad, I know you're talking about the day we were all grilling outside and having a great time. That was a great day. Objectively, I would have liked to have wrapped it up closer to 11 rather than midnight. Like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that's a fair statement, I think. Now, Wacko, how did the subsequent rounds go? You can be as detailed or as not detailed as you want, but like, how did the flow of your day go playing your different rounds?
I got pretty lucky with like my first 4 rounds of being able to just like find my opponent almost instantly and just get my match done. Because like you'll see on the challenge, I was the like oh I forgot to mention this. When the tournament started, I was the first round to play. Like on the TMS live stream, I think I'm the first match that he shows. I'm like 90% sure.
Oh,
I didn't watch
nice.
all of it, but
I mean, why watch it when you lived it?
exactly. But yeah,
It,
I was the third match played on the challenge. Then I was the first of round two. Then I was the first of round three, and then like the fourth of round four. So I got my matches done very quickly, and my first 3 rounds went really well. They, I think, yeah, my first match was 4-1, second match was 5-0, and third match was 4-1. And then
mm,
in round four, I got matched up with, I can't pronounce his name. I think it's like Canalubo or something. But he was the eventual Swiss king, and he was very good at the game.
mm.
It was a close game. He beat me 4-3. But I'm going to start looking into how these people launch with string launchers because their RPM is nuts. I could not even compete.
Yeah,
Peop-
it's wild. So first off, I'm going to touch on this real quick because I'm probably going to forget once we get to your stories about Top Cut. But the Swiss King that you just mentioned, they actually got knocked out in the first round of Top Cut by the 64th player to get the last player to get in.
Yeah,
Um,
that they did. He
that
had a really good run. I'm sure we'll talk about that later, but he did for
Yeah,
sure.
we will touch on that too because obviously, like, it was just a cool day. So after you lost that first match, did you start to get worried, or where were you at mentally at that point?
I was
Mm.
thinking, all right, my strategy going into the day was I guess I should explain the format that they used a little bit cuz normally I would maybe not normally. I'm going to say normally. Normally in tournaments that are played first to 4, they cap the points at 4, so you can't go above 4. But like when I mentioned I went
Hmm.
5-1 earlier, they uncapped the points for this tournament and made points. I think it was the first tiebreaker over Butch Holtz. So the points you scored and your points differential really mattered in this tournament. Going into it, I decided that I'm not gonna really care about that. I'm gonna go for like the 6-2 entry over the 5-3 with a lot of points. And but yeah, by round four, I'd taken my first loss, so I'm like, okay, I'm 3-1. I'm well on my way to making it with the thing I wanted through Swiss. And then, and it was a close game in round four, so I'm like, okay, I'm doing fine. And then I play my round five, and I'm gonna try and find their name because I want to shout them out. God
Are you
herself. That's who it was. They
Ooh,
absolutely destroyed me. It was 4-0 in round five. I'm like, oh boy, I'm getting nervous now. Because
So,
that was my worst loss of the day.
so you're.
And then, yeah.
so then you go to 3-2. So are you
Mhm.
concerned at this point?
It was 2-3 at this point because it was round five. But I was thinking like, okay, I'm still playing well. I'm getting matched against high seeds that I think are gonna place well. So I know my Butch Holtz will be okay. I'm still, I'm coping. It's gonna be fine.
Mhm.
And then I end up winning my last 3 matches. I think it was my last 3 matches. Let me
mm.
double check that I made it in 6-2.
So 6-2 is kind of where you ended up when Swiss was all said and done, correct?
Yep, 6-2 is correct. I just double checked. I was at
Okay.
22nd going into Top Cut.
So I mean
So,
that's
And
pretty good.
then,
I mean
yeah.
6-2 is really solid, right?
Yeah, we had a couple others from our group make it in too. I think it was CF Grizzly,
mhm.
Wayward, and McThunder. They
Yes,
all
that's
from our
correct.
group made it in. And then Egg was really close. He got
Yeah, I saw egg.
66.
Yeah, I saw
66
egg
out of
was at 6.
64 is wild.
Yeah, that's
Yo,
Mm.
that's
That's
that
rough.
rough.
that is a kick to the
That's
pants if I've
rough.
ever heard anything.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, he
And then he
told
got
me.
matched with Joestar in round one, so it was even more rough. Two Minnesota guys get matched up immediately.
Yeah, Egg
Did
told
did
me.
Joe Star beat him in round one? Is that correct?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Egg told me
I
that he
got I
was
got
65th for a while, and he was really hoping he basically be so upset if he got 65th.
That'd
So
be even worse than 66.
yeah.
true. So what kind of deck format did they end up running? Was it 3v3 or was it just straight deck format?
It was 3v3.
3v3.
In
Okay.
Swiss, it was first to four with uncapped points, and then once
Okay.
we got to top cut, it was first to four, best of three.
And
Mm.
decks were completely locked during the top cut, or you could switch out
No, they
cards.
weren't locked. You could have switched if you
Okay.
wanted to.
Okay.
I did not, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
was.
real quick, guys, before we get too far, Keg, I did want to say something real quick,
Yep.
related to what Wacko just said. I did want to shout out Joe Star. He's really been stepping up his game lately and has been playing pretty well. Just took third this past weekend. He just been doing great. I've been very happy to see that.
Brother's balling.
Probably would have took
he
second
stepped
if he
up at the
came.
event too. You know, like halfway through round, I think it was round 3, they brought in the pizzas that they were going to bring in, and the pizzas were chaos. You know, they just put them on the table. They didn't have enough people to deal with them. I eventually go up to get my pizza, and who do I see behind, like, you know, in the window area? Joe Star's there. He's handling the pizzas. I don't know how he got back there, but he stepped up and handled the pizzas. Big
I
thumbs
mean,
up.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's a tiny guy. He probably just squeezed right on through.
I had heard that, and I was joking. I figured it was Egg or Wayward or Akuna or somebody. I was joking. I'm like, let's start calling him Pizza Star Blader after that performance. Like
Jesus.
that was
Star.
no. I mean it was great of him to step up and help out. He identified a problem area and stepped in to take care of it. I mean, I honestly wish more people would do that. You know?
Actually, I heard a couple people from the Minnesota people actually kind of stepped up and helped out. Bird kind of put some stuff back together.
Yeah, Egg
Oh,
fixed the toilet once.
yeah. I was
That
gonna ask
happened.
Wacko. Do we want to? Do you have a story about Egg the plumber here? Is there a story there that we want to share, or is it just he fixed the
There's-
toilet?
There's not a huge story. He went in there. He was prepared to deal with whatever he had to deal with, but I think he just said it was kind of the flusher mechanism, and he just had to fix it. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but he got it working again. Big thumbs
Joe-
up, Egg.
Joe Star says, "Got to feed the homies," which is true. Shout out to you, buddy.
Yeah, I see Wayward shouting out, "We love you, Joe Star." Joe Star goes, "Oh, you." I think that was in regards to me complimenting him. Yeah.
Joe Star, you're a baller. Don't get all sheepish about it. You know how awesome you are. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Egg
was gonna
kind of.
say I don't think they recruit scrubs to Metal Empire. I don't think that's allowed. So you know he's a baller if he's on Metal Empire.
Don't.
Yeah, shout out
So,
to all the
now-
Minnesota people for going in and kind of pitching in, making that event a little bit more smoother than what would have been if you guys weren't there. So big shout out to all the Minnesota crews and heading over to the Michigan tournament.
Egg's so funny. I think he's trying to indicate he just wanted to get the toilet done because he didn't want to have to deal with it when there's a problem later and there's a bunch of poop in there. Like,
Oh yeah, that would have been bad. Eventually,
that-
I don't know how this happened. We started with one working toilet. We ended up having two by the end of the event. I don't know where the second one came from, but it ended up working by the
Hold
end
on.
of it.
There was only one toilet for 200 people.
what?
Yeah, for a
at
little
first,
while there was one, and then the second one opened up at some point. But I don't know how that happened, but it showed up eventually.
It just
It
showed
was
up
funny.
out of poof, out of nowhere.
Well,
I mean, it was out
Egg
of order, and then it just wasn't out of order.
Shout out to Egg
Yeah, I
for
mean, if-
fixing that.
Well, I don't know if he fixed. Here's what I'm gonna imagine. Okay, Egg fixed the first one, so he's Mario, and then at some point, Egg's somehow taller because Egg's already probably pretty tall himself. Brother Luigi came along and fixed the other one. So, good job to whoever helped with the second toilet because I think that was I think that was probably important for the event because I heard at first before the second toilet opened, the line for the bathroom was I heard people were cutting over to the Taco Bell to use their toilet. That's what I heard.
That is true. That
Oh
did
my
happen.
god, no way. That's that is
Welcome
wild.
to the wacky weird world of Beyblade.
The bread.
Welcome to the wacky weird world of Beyblade.
Yeah, whatever he just said, which is true.
You know exactly what I said, and if
Yeah,
you don't, you
Joestar.
should probably subscribe to the Spin Zone podcast to figure out.
True.
Oh my God, Joestar over here shouting out. It was a fun event, even with the ups and downs. Yeah, and guys, for anyone who's listening, none of this is attempted to be like, oh, let's assassinate the organizer's character or anything like that. Like we're talking about how
Whoa.
things went. There were positive things, and there were maybe some things that could be learned from for the future. But that's the
Just
big
like a
part
lot
of
of
talking about
tournaments.
it, right? People don't know. Yeah, listen. My tournament this past weekend was pretty crowded. I heard. I got to redo the layout. That's something I've been working on the last couple days.
Yeah, it was a little crowded. I got stuck with the problem
It-
station. I had to judge in the corner. Everybody was getting launch interference.
Nobody puts wacko in the corner.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my god.
well, I did. I put him in the traffic corner, and there's just
Yep.
we're gonna have a new layout next time. It's gonna be a little cleaner. Unfortunately, there's gonna be a little less free play space. But the other thing I'd been thinking about, this is kind of off topic, but Whack, we were talking the other day, and what I realized was like, hey, if you're like one of the normal players and you get here early, you get to a table and you get to sit there all day and free play to your heart's content. But the newer players or players who might not arrive exactly at 4, a lot of times they're standing up the whole time. They don't get to do nothing. So we're gonna try some things to see if we can't get free play moving a little more and try to uh take turns to make sure everyone gets a chance to do a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So anyways, totally off topic. So Wacko, we're heading I guess before we get to Top Cut, were there any other funny moments during Swiss or interesting things that happened or exciting or sad things that happened that you want to talk about during the Swiss part of the event?
Oh man, let me think. God, I can't come up with anything great off the top of my head. I kind of got through all the funny stuff.
I mean, we got a couple people that came to the Michigan up in the YouTube chat, and if you guys want to come and check out any of our lives, go ahead, follow us up on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and everything, so you can watch these live. They're so much more fun to interact with you guys while live. So definitely come and check us out. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, I can't remember any other stories that I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's unlimited things going on that I wasn't even privy to. 200 people, there's going to be endless
Right?
stories happening.
Did you
Probably going to
by
be other podcasts coming out talking with other people from the event, and we're going to get all kinds of stuff from that.
yeah,
This is just a little
probably.
piece of it.
Did you by chance get to
Yeah.
play or meet any like big Bay tubers or anything else like that while you're out there?
I was hoping I'd get to match with them in bracket. That never ended up happening. By the end of the event, I got interviewed by 2 people. I'm not sure who the first one was, but I know one of them was TMS. I don't know if that live stream footage survived because I haven't been able to find it since. But
Ooh,
kind of met
Oh.
TMS him a bit. I saw that Zanky was around.
yeah, I think he was judging.
Yeah, he definitely judged for a little bit.
Yeah, Zanky
Yeah, there
was
was a lot of
judging,
people around. Jacob Palm was not there. He
which
was
is
not.
wild because he said that he was going to.
Yeah, I heard
well.
that his new charity tournament kind of took over the time that he needed for that,
Which is
which I
fair.
think is going to be big as
Yeah, that'll
well.
do it, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Zanky was there. Uncle Bug was there. Our main man Dabs was running around with a camera and everything. So, like, there was some.
Joestar says pink flamingo question mark.
Yeah,
I've
the
heard
new
that name
Beyblade Pink
before.
Flamingo. We totally know what you're talking about. It's going to be the greatest Beyblade ever. everyone knows about Pink Flamingo.
I kind of know the YouTuber he's talking about. I'm not exactly sure who it is though, but I think
Oh,
they were
thank goodness
there.
you know, because
Just look up
I was
Flamingo
just
Beyblade. You'll
bullshitting.
probably figure out who it is.
Flamingo Poppy.
That's the one. I think he was
Okay.
there. Yeah, a lot
I
of
was
big
about to
names.
say, I'm
for
gonna be honest, I was
there.
bullshitting that whole time. I don't know what the I don't know anyone
Yep,
named Flamingo.
Flamingo Poppy.
Yeah, Flamingo Poppy, someone's saying on YouTube right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying Flamingo Poppy, saying that up in TikTok as well. He's mostly on TikTok.
Okay.
Oh, that's why.
Okay. I
Yeah,
might gotta
if
go
you need
check
any
him
tournament,
out.
check it out.
Well, actually, speaking about TikTok, I was able to find that TikTok video of that rail popping off. So maybe towards the very end we
Oh,
can,
nice.
yeah, because the person's she Tanny, I guess they were also a judge, and they've been talking a lot up in the chat. So shout out to them, and actually going to be giving us permission to play their video. So
Let's
Oh,
go.
sick.
yeah, so
We're
we
play
can
it right
show.
now.
Yeah, we can play that right now. Hold on.
Yeah, let's do that intermission here before we
go
get to
ahead and
Top
do it.
Cut.
Yeah, let me share it with you guys then. Share the screen.
Boom, boom, boom.
Where the TikTok thing go? So let's start this thing over.
Yeah, that's
That is wild. Well, let's
boy. That poor rail.
Yeah, let's watch that one more time. Oh my god.
destroys the
That's
You
Oh, no.
You know what
Oh
that
my
reminds me of, Cake? In wrestling, when a guy throws another guy through one of the metal barricades at ringside, that's exactly what that looked like to me.
Oh yeah,
True.
EC Dub. Oh my god. But yeah, dude, so true. Wow, that's crazy.
That's rough. Oh
What
no.
someone asked up in chat, Basil, would that be an extreme or a redo?
I think you'd redo it.
I think it was a redo
'cause the-
because the rail popped off first before the extreme happened.
I don't know what the call was, obviously, but I think I would call it a redo. But who knows?
Me personally, I would definitely call it a redo.
Yeah,
I would
same here.
I would call for a re-stadium because I sure as hell ain't
Yeah,
gonna be.
that's true.
I sure as hell ain't gonna use that thing again. Oh my god! But that's up to speculation. Not too sure on what the judge called for an extreme. If it was just a reshot, I don't know what the ending result was, but that would be my perspective as a judge. Chad also said reshoot. Vile, as a judge yourself, what would you call that? Is it an extreme finish or just a reshoot?
No, reshoot 100%. If there's any sort of stadium breakage that occurs during a match, you have to reshoot the match. Because if that stadium didn't break like that, it could have ended totally differently.
Yeah. And I'm
Exactly.
guessing Wacko kind of the same thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So what was the big announcement that Burr said he was going to release at the Michigan tournament? Someone's asking up in TikTok.
Oh shoot, that is a good question. I don't remember if they officially announced it. I know what the answer is, but I don't.
They did not.
Yeah, us on the Spin Zone podcast
Okay.
do know, but
I don't know if I want to be the guy who says it.
No,
then, if
we're
they
not going to
didn't officially
whistleblow or
announce it.
anything. We will we'll let you guys know when it comes more publicly announced. But let's just say it is a really good prize. If you get first,
I would say it's better than the.
Well, yeah.
Probably.
Now to be fair, I believe correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but Burr did announce the date, right? He did say that on the podcast, so we can say the date, correct?
It was like
Yes.
July
Yeah, he said the
something.
date of the next tournament. It was the same day as the Chicago tournament, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
July 12th.
Oh
Yes.
July
no.
12th. Yes.
Oh shit.
Yeah, unfortunate timing there.
That is so unfortunate. So I don't know what he's gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna try to push it back a little bit into like August. So because oof. I don't know.
Maybe just thinking here, just speculating. Okay, total speculation. But maybe that's why he didn't wind up announcing it at the event, was because maybe people that were talking like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Chicago this weekend," and he's like, "Uh-oh, maybe I should," because they've kind of announced and I haven't yet. Maybe I should rethink this. Like
That's possible.
because Chicago and Michigan are not that far apart. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
if someone's
No, I
willing
think
to
it's like
drive several hours for Beyblade,
from Ypsilanti to Chicago, that's probably like a 4.5-ish hour drive.
yeah, I think it's like 6 hours to
yeah,
Chicago for us and like 10 hours to Ypsilanti. So
Yeah.
pretty similar
Yeah.
drives.
Yeah, so the point is anyone in that general area who's going to drive for an event, you wouldn't want to have those two events on the same weekend. They're not far enough apart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If one was in Cali and one was in Michigan, it'd be a totally different conversation. But that's not what we're talking about here. So
No, not at all.
if that's why he didn't announce, that's smart. So maybe that date changes. But I'm really excited about the prize. I think the prize is gonna be dope. Can't talk about it on here, but it's gonna be dope. So Wacko, let's move into Top Cut. So when you found out you were the 22nd seeded player, were you happy with that? Was that kind of where you wanted to be?
Honestly, going into the day, I was thinking top 64 would be cool. So making it into top 64, that was like all right, good enough. Let's see how far I can go from here. And then, yeah, round one starts. I find my opponent pretty quickly. And then, actually, wait, no, round one, I had to wait for ages for round one because I was the last match of round one.
Oh my god.
So, because they had it pretty organized by then. So, going from playing first, like the whole way through, to playing last, it let the nerves settle in. But I got through it. It was close. It was 2-1. And then I have to wait a little bit for my next match. And then I get that one done. It's another 2-1. But I win that one too.
So Top Cut was best of 3 to 4 points, probably.
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Just want to kind of verify for myself and also for the listeners, because that's what we do it here in Minnesota as well. Best of 4 points to best of 3 rounds. So I don't know what everyone else does anywhere else for their tournaments, but that's kind of what we're used to over in the Minnesota scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I was slightly wrong. It was round one where I had to wait for ages. And then I find my opponent for round two shows up almost immediately. So I don't even have time to think about round one. Because at this point, organization, we're kind of back to the find your opponent and go when you can. So I get my
Wow.
opponent, I play, it's another 2-1. My next opponent is one of the judges, and they also show up almost immediately. So I'm like, all right,
Now
here we go. We got to.
so now we're in the third round. You're playing against Hex Angel, correct?
Yep, that's correct. That match, I don't know if this clip still exists, but during that round, my wizard rod ended up on top of the shroud and just spun around up there and stalled out a hover wyvern for like a minute straight and then fell back in. So that was funny. Got to do the aura farming thing in brackets.
That's wild.
And
then it fell in with still stamina left, correct?
Yep, so I got the
Okay.
point off that round. Oh yeah, both
Yeah.
my second and third rounds ended up with my opponent's self-extreming for the final points.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't know
Oof.
what was going on. I
He just
think
took.
at that point the plot armor was settling in. I'm like, okay, I'm making it somewhere. After it was a little rough because I don't think either of my opponents were happy about self-extreming, but I'm like, all right, I'm moving on no matter what, so I'm fine with it, I
And
guess.
it was just single elimination, or was it still Swiss kind of bracket, or what? Like how did
Single
that all
elim,
work out?
one and done.
One and done. Okay,
If you lose, you're done.
okay. And
Okay,
that
so round 4 at Top Cut, you were playing Shrimps Hyper. Is that correct?
That's correct. So I go from these three matches where I barely have any time to think into these two. I didn't see what ended up happening, but there was a call that they were making about this match that had to have taken an hour
Holy
of
moly.
video review. I didn't see the call, but it must have been a tight call because they were judging it for ages. So I get a lot of time to think, and I'm like, okay, this is top 8. I'm starting to get really nervous. Everybody's telling me that they're giving me the insider info of like, okay, Shrimp's hype. If Shrimp's hyper wins, he's got this tricky launch where he flips his launcher like last second. I'm like, all right, noted. And then whatever happens, Shrimp's hyper ends up winning, and we have another really close set. But obviously, I end up winning that one too. It was every match I played was a 2-1. Very close sets.
is
Very
shrimp
good
the
players.
is shrimp the one that like launches completely vertical? Because I've
No,
seen
it wasn't that.
no. Okay,
That
because
did somebody was doing that. I don't know
I
who
know
that
someone was
was, but
doing
I
that, and I
Okay,
thought
that.
thought it was
so
towards like the
so
top
so
cut.
I mean, maybe. I don't remember that. Now, hold on. Wacko, was Shrimps Hyper the guy that was like, he had his launcher, right? And then the judge is like 3, 2, and then somewhere between 2 and 1, he like moves his launcher over here. Was that what you were talking
Yeah,
about?
it was tricky. I liked it. I ended
Oh,
up
I heard
trying to
about that.
yeah, I ended up trying to adopt it a little bit toward the end of the set. I think the last point we played, I flipped from a B side stall into stalling on the X side of the rail just to see how I liked it. I didn't end up keeping it, but I like the style. It's tricky.
So
Keeps
I
people
guess
from reading you.
I mean, I love it. It's just it's more or less an earlier version of like kind of how I launch because I do that a lot where like I'm holding it and then like as they're saying shoot and I'm launching, I'm like moving my arm around and shit.
hmm
Um,
Yeah.
he just does it a little earlier, like repositions himself, and I don't know, because I'm like, oh, he's gonna do this every single time. Like I started noticing. Um, but I guess the difference is you don't know exactly where he's going to move to, right? That's the tricky part, and then you
Oof.
have a second or two to try to adjust to that on the fly. Like I think that's the point, right?
Yeah.
That
Definitely
It's
a
sounds
really
mind
about
cool.
right.
game. Definitely a mind game.
Now let's talk about the semis, okay? Because this is where things started to get weird. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
so
right.
so so finally in the semis is when Crumbs's run from 64th place. He finally falls at that point, correct?
Yep. Great player. We'll talk about him a little bit later because obviously he gets to play the third and fourth match.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm like, listen, I want Wacko to win. You're a Minnesota guy. We're tight. It's all good. But if you for some reason didn't win, I kind of wanted to see Crumbs win. Like if I'm just
Oh
being
yeah, for
totally
sure.
frank, because that would have been a hell of a story, right?
The
Um,
64th to first run would have been great.
yeah, that would have been like March Madness if the 64th ranked team in college basketball won the NCAA championship. That'd be pretty cool, right? But
Oh
that's not
yeah.
what happened.
Or the Minnesota
It looks
Vikings
like
winning the Super Bowl.
oh my god.
Oh,
Well, that's never gonna happen. Let's just keep it 100, right?
That's why I
Um,
said that.
now moving on
yay.
to your match in the semis, you are playing against Spandy. Now it looks like Spandy came
Yep.
in with the 7th seed out of Swiss. So at this point, he's the top ranked player left in the event, right? Like,
I think that's right.
um,
Yeah.
because Crumbs is 64, it's Jude was 12, and then you're 22. So Spandy came out of Swiss at 7th. So Spandy obviously must have gone what 7-1, I'd assume during Swiss.
I think that's correct. If it was seventh seed, he would have had to go something like that.
That's
Let's see. Yeah, I can't super easily see on challenge, but I would just assume based on the numbers that would be what it has to be. So you're playing against Spandy. Did you feel like you were prepared for this? Did you have like enough time to kind of collect your thoughts, adjust your deck? How did you feel going into this one?
Honestly, I felt really good going into this one. And it feels weird to say, because I ended up losing to him, but I think in this match, I played the best Beyblade I've ever played. So I have
Wow.
no regrets about how it went. I don't think I ever have come even close to playing at that level. I mean, just as like an example, he was kind of beating me with like all my usual B-side stalls. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try something ridiculous I've never tried before. I'm gonna try and do. I think Jesse Lee calls it an around the world. I don't know what other people call it, but I've seen him do it once where he just stalls in a full 360 around the stadium. I'm like, all right, I've never practiced this, but it's a Hover Wyvern, and he's gonna go for a stall in the B side. I'm gonna do it. So I just launch. I just get a really. It's kind of delayed, but it ends up getting there. Really clean B side stall. Shark. It was Shark free ball. Shark free ball comes down and just extremes the hover instantly. It was so clean, and I've never done that before, and I've never done it since.
And never will
Well, you
do it
still
since?
got a lot.
mean, yeah.
Oh my god. I feel like you still have lots of time to try to do
Yeah.
it again, but
Mhm.
so how see, so I was watching this live, right? But a lot of the feeds were not there was rough reception in there throughout the day.
Mhm.
So I was watching on McFunder's feed on Discord. See, I thought you won. I was very confused what was going on. I had thought you won at some point, and then it kept going. Like I was struggling to follow what was going on because of the lag.
Sure. I can't remember exactly how it went. I think Spandy took the first set and then I took the second set. And then it ended up with me trying to go for a B-side stall and just like try it was a wizard rod mirror. So I'm trying to stall it out because it was either three. It was a close match. I remember that much. It was coming down to like where the wizard rod spin finish really mattered. So I'm like trying to stall it out. I fall down, I tap him into the rail. He ends up going around, gets the drop, and then just extremes my rod. So just the rod mirror ended unluckily for me, and the match was over. But it was a really good match.
Hey, real quick, Cake, before we talk about the third place match, our good buddies over at Ash and Dragoons are saying hi in the YouTube right now.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
Yeah,
what's up?
I'm.
yeah.
Oh, hey, yep.
At
Look at it.
Ash and Dragoons says Shark Freeball is a menace. I don't disagree with that.
It is
Absolutely.
insane.
Yeah, it's
I
actually.
think the most meaningful things for the Minnesota scene to come out of that tournament is everybody is trying Arrow 180 and everybody is trying Shark Freeball.
Hey,
Actually,
It was
hey,
nuts.
where here in the Minnesota scene, who was the first to bring out uh Shark Scale on Freeball? I can't remember the
It was
player's
me.
name. All I know is they're very handsome and very cool, and I hear that they don't play Beyblade as often anymore.
Vile, was that
Oh, you must
you?
be talking about me. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't play
Ah!
Beyblade very often.
Was it you? Okay, I might have to challenge your claim here. I'm gonna have to challenge your
No, it
claim to
was
Shark
not
Freeball.
Danny. It was in fact me. I was referring to myself.
I might have to challenge your claim to Shark Freeball then, because I played that back in the state championships when I got second. It didn't catch on then, but I was playing it back then.
Actually, someone
um,
That
said.
is fair.
Someone asked up in
so
chat there, guys. What are you guys' thoughts on the 180 rush on Arrow?
oh boy.
This is gonna sound weird for me because he kicked my ass, but I don't think it's that good. I, me and Spandy did the exact opposite thing. He went super high arrow, and I was running arrow 150 low rush, and it was a menace. This thing was insane. It was so good. But I don't know. Maybe there's some secret sauce I'm not understanding. It did end up beating me. So, I don't know.
Real quick,
Interesting.
I wanted to shout out Ash and Dragoons one more time. Guys, those new microphones you got are really good. Like some of the best quality microphones I've ever heard. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, so
A
yeah, for those who are not aware, Asher Dragoons is another Beyblade X podcast. So definitely after us, go check them out. No harm.
Yeah,
good save there. Good
their
save.
their new microphones are cool. I really like them. Like they're very high quality.
180 is good. Oh, use Shark with Hexa.
Shark Hexa's good too. There was, I was considering playing Shark Hexa day of the event because from watching the Michigan scene, there was a lot of left spin being played, and that's the one matchup I would say Shark Freeball is like atrocious
The best.
into. It's like it's just left spin stuff. But I didn't end up running into a ton of left spin. The only real in my second and third place matches in Top Cut, they had Dragoon Elevate, but the second match I had in Top Cut, they had the purple Elevate, and that thing burst every battle. It wasn't a threat; it just burst every time. And then the next guy had the blue Elevate, and that thing didn't burst ever. It was very scary, but I got lucky with my matchups and was just able to beat it up with Pegasus and Rod. But I could have easily lost if I matched Shark into it a couple more times. That blue Elevate's a menace.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for
That is
that
fair.
Grogu Elevate. I heard it's
No,
gonna
you're
be.
not.
I might have some.
I
I might
know.
have some bad news.
Yeah, I heard it's gonna be old mold, which is so sad.
Aw.
I still have high
Maybe they
hopes
just
that
got
it's.
really unlucky.
I know I have high hopes that they messed up and it's new mold, but it's more than likely old mold, and I'm so upset.
Bro, those guys in Australia are like on point about letting us know because they do get certain Hasbro things like months before we do. Not everything. Some things they do suffer on, like to keep it 100. But sometimes they just get stuff way before us. So they're used to reporting it. If they tell me something from Australia, I just believe them. I trust them.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
disappointed because I was hoping it was going to be the new mold so I could put it on this beautiful baby boy here. The white
Oh
Cobalt Dragoon.
man.
That'd
Because
look
you got to
nice.
think like white. I'm sure I could find a black ratchet that's more appropriate, a 560 or something, and then a gray elevate. Man, that would be perfect.
That would look great.
So
But I'm not going to
That's good, though.
sacrifice performance. I'm too much about performance for that. Like I can't do it.
Yeah.
that's what the
And
blue
it's
pill's
night and
for.
day. If the new Elevate, you just can't sacrifice it. It's so much better.
True. Speaking about performance, what kind of deck were you running though? I don't think we got to that part.
That's true. I have not mentioned that.
Yeah, we went
Oh my
through this whole pod talk about Redline and your success there without talking about the deck that brought you there.
Oh shoot, I've got 360 on this right now. Whatever. It's got 360 on it right now, but it didn't at the event. It's the Menace, Wizard Rod, 160 Hexa. What else are you? I was considering running 360 going into the day, but I'm like, these players are good. I'm probably going to need the buyback at some point from 160, and it paid off. It's the best combo for a reason. And then Shark 960 Free Ball was the other one, was another one I was running.
Oh, you're killing me,
My
Wacko.
logic behind
You're killing me
what's that?
because that baby sky blue free ball looks so much nicer on Shark Scale
Oh,
than the
hang
yellow.
on. That's no, hang
God.
on. That's my practice one. This I've got my real one over here. This is the one I used at the event. Here
Oh,
we go.
see, that's
I've
what's
got the
up.
Medusa
See that?
960 on it, which is a
Look
little
at
ugly,
that.
but it's such a good 960. You can't sacrifice that burst resistance.
Yeah,
True.
I listen, when I'm playing around at free play, I like to color match them when they're sitting on my shelf. I like to color match them. If I'm in a 200 person tournament for a car, I'm using the absolute tightest parts I have, like full stop, end of story.
Yeah.
True. So we got Wizard.
And so going into the day, yeah, I was kind of considering because usually my deck will be 2 attack, Wizard Rod in the back slot. But I'm thinking, okay, it's to 4 points. I kind of have the choice between going for a 6-2 to guarantee my Swiss placement, or I can try and do a 5-3 and get a lot of points out of it to guarantee my placement. And I ended up deciding to try and go for like the 6-2 with 2 stamina with less point total, and it ended up working. And I think it was a good idea. I think stamina plays a lot better in
At 4?
in a first to 4 format. So that was my logic behind that. And then I need to
Last but
find
not
the
least,
low rush. There it is Aero Pegasus 150 low rush. This is the one I paid 140 for because the other one's broken,
ugh,
but it worked. It hit really hard. It didn't have like massive stamina issues. It was still barely beating Shark in the 170 rush. It was beating that variant enough that I didn't have any problems with it. I think really low arrow is good. It's got a lot of good smash attack. I think stamina is a little rough. So I want to upgrade it to rush, but there's the problem. You can't really see it well, but red rush is the wrong color. It's a problem. When red low
Oh.
rush is the perfect color. It is the best color match in the world. So I was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to sacrifice a little bit of performance for the looks? I don't know.
yes.
Yes.
But I ran low rush at the event, and it worked out.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
we
All
think
right.
alike.
Oh, well, we.
All right. So
We
Wacko,
both said yes so fast.
Oh what? Yeah,
Yeah.
oh my
we
god.
did.
Wacko, let's bring it back around here and kind of wrap up the playing part of the event. Now, unfortunately, dropping to Spandy means that you moved to the third place match rather than the finals, and you were facing off against, as I noted earlier, the 64 seed Crumbs.
Yep.
How was that for you? Did you think you had that one in the bag, or were you nervous?
The nerves kind of settled because, like, at that point I was out of the running. I'm just like thinking, all right, I want the podium. I want third. I need to be in the picture. I mean, fourth got in the picture too, but I wanted to be on the podium. And that was enough to get me through the match. I'm very if I'm playing at my best, I need to like be wanting something. So I try and keep something in my head at least at a tournament. So like of course it was the car at the start, and then I lose the opportunity to get the car, so I gotta find something else. I'm like, all right, I gotta get third. I gotta get that third. And it worked out.
So
So
you go ahead.
so first place was a car. We all know that.
Yep, it was
The
the
key
car.
and the keys were on a Crystal Drake. What were the other prizes that could have been chosen from?
I believe it was oh yeah, I don't know if this has been like shown, but my favorite thing that was given out as a prize to first, even like over the car, they had this massive 3D printed Dragoon 560 Elevate. It was so sick. I want to see another picture of that, but that thing was so cool. It was given to first place, Spandy, obviously.
I think
But
did
that
Uncle
was an
Bug made
awesome
those?
prize.
I think
Sure.
yeah, because I know Uncle Bug does a lot of like 3D printings and everything, and we all know that a lot of people did a lot of um, giveaways to that tournament. So I didn't know if it was an Uncle Bug product or not, or either way.
But yeah, I think second place picked a purple
Know what they
coat
picked.
hover wyvern. That was the main prize they picked. And then third, which was me, I got a Valkyrie Vault over here on the stand. I'll throw it.
Oh, there he
Give me
goes.
this thing. There we go.
Uh-oh.
And I got this fella in this stand. There he is, Valkyrie Vault. And this
Actually, that
I think every place got one of these.
every place.
I think fourth got one too. I'm not quite sure.
Oh.
Hey, Wacko, where did that stand come from?
It was a thing they gave out with it. It was part of the prize.
Oh, I really like that. I have like a similar stand as on, but it's like the X is a lot bigger and like wider. That seems to take up a lot less space. I kind of like those.
It is a very small one. It is like the size of the little medallion stand thing, which I like a lot.
Maybe I'll have to ask Burr where that came from if that's something that I can find. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, were you a little disappointed that Second took the purple hover wyvern, because I felt like that's what you wanted.
Yep, I was. I knew it was gonna happen because I heard them talking like after the match finished. And he's like, "I want the purple hover wyvern." I'm like, "Oh shoot, I want that thing."
Now the
But
prize
Valkyrie
you
Volt's
said
cool too.
you said the prize that you passed on to fourth place was Orochi cluster, correct?
Yep, it was a Orochi cluster. Which, if I didn't have one, I probably would have picked it. But I have one, and then I have a couple coming in from Beyblade Kingdom eventually someday. But
Yeah, I had guessed. I'm like, man, I think he's gonna pick Orochi because right now on the secondary market, Orochi's a fair amount more expensive than Valkyrie Volt. But then when somebody said you picked Valkyrie Volt, then I remembered you kind of think like I know you've been kind of hemming and hawing about like you want one for display because you've been playing with your other one. And then I kind of also remembered, hey, eventually Beyblade Kingdom should hopefully get him the 2 other Orochis he ordered. So it all kind of makes sense when I actually started to think about it more. But that's really cool. Um, so overall, like I assume you were happy with your performance.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thanks to Battleship, I actually have a lot of footage from the event that I have on a laptop somewhere. I'm gonna edit that together eventually. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I'll make a like highlight reel out of it. Maybe I'll make a full tournament video, but something will be done with that footage. It'll be on YouTube eventually.
Oh,
Nice.
I know what he can do, Cake. He can make an entrance video for himself, like they have in wrestling.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
could do that.
Do
Yeah.
introducing Wacko
Why does Chad sound like a robot?
He does sound like a robot.
Why did I sound like a robot? What?
The mic
Huh?
was
See,
peaking. It was
Yeah,
peaking
yeah,
from the
yeah.
wrestling.
Chad was just redlining. Speaking about redline, let's go back to that.
oh, yeah.
Oh God. You know what? I don't like you. You
That's
smell
okay.
funny.
I've been told that.
Oh.
Anyway. So,
Anyways, about that red line.
yeah, better
Yeah.
back to the red line.
So I guess
someone set up in
go
chat,
ahead.
Valk over Orochi is crazy.
It is. I have 3 of them though. I was talking to Egg about it before I picked my prize, and he kind of talked to me. I was thinking about Orochi, and then we were talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I don't have Mint Valkyrie, because whatever bay I'm picking, it's just going on display. I'm never gonna use this thing, so it's like, what's gonna look better on my display stand? Is it gonna be Orochi Cluster, or is it gonna be Valkyrie Volt? And I ended up picking the gold guy because I think he'll look better on this display stand.
Well, something that might actually look good on a shelf that we are just getting word that someone actually used in a tournament is a gold wizard rod. Did you see
That
that?
happened. I think I know who it was.
That
Because I'm
is
90% sure whoever it was one of the players in the match that took forever. I think it was MF Boom. I don't want to say for sure, but I think it was him who was playing the Gold Wizard Rod, which is so cool. I wanted to buy one at the event. It was $400. I was considering it. Didn't end up doing it though. I wanted one.
but it's okay because shout out to one of our active listeners, one of our Minnesota's own Egg Salad. He's actually one that bought one.
He did buy one. I wanted to
Mhm.
be the other
Yeah,
guy.
Yeah, he said, yeah, Egg in the comments said some psycho used a gold rod, and then I said another psycho bought a gold rod.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, Wayward saying that you made the right choice on the bay, which at the end of the day, it is your decision. Even if you wanted the Orochi or shit, even if you took first place and you're like, man, I can't take that shit across state lines. I'm just gonna go with the Valkyrie or go with the
Yeah.
hover or whatever. That would have been your choice. But
I think Spandy made the right call selling that thing. That's what I
and
would
that's
have done if I won that thing. I'd have been like, "All right, let's sell it. Who wants to bring it home?" Those Virginia
and that
people would
is
have got it either way.
crazy that I don't know how much he sold it for, but he sold it to someone in Virginia or West Virginia or something.
Yeah, it was
Virginia.
some Virginia. It was a Virginia crew who really wanted that car. They
I
So
talked
mean,
about it because they just published a video with
the Virginia
Spandy. I
people?
think Haru did. No, Haru Talk Hobbies or something published like a 30-minute thing talking with Spandy. They mentioned that they sold it to the Virginia crew and that apparently they played Beyblade to determine the price, which is insane. You'll have to watch that video if you want
yeah,
to
Good
figure that
gracious.
out, but
that's
Oh my
that's
god.
wild. What I'm gonna say about it is like the guys from Virginia, or guys and gals, or the people from Virginia, were
There you
very
go.
clear on their social media, going into the event, that they were like, no matter who won, they had all agreed to give it to this one person who I guess like probably needed it.
yeah.
And then when none of them won, I think they kind of all pooled in and bought it for that person. Like, it was a really cool thing from my
Oh,
understanding.
okay.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah,
That is
very.
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, kudos. That's what makes a community so awesome. Kind of putting money together or putting bays together or doing whatever. Or at the end of the day, just coming together as a community and then doing something for somebody. That's awesome. So kudos to that team for doing something awesome like that.
Heck yeah.
To be fair, I made like a pretty bold prediction, Wacko. I'm like as you started to get further in Top Cut, we were on Discord, and I'm like, I can almost promise you guys that if Wacko somehow wins, in some way, shape, or form, and I'm not sure how it's going to happen, but somehow I think Battleship winds up with that car. Like,
It was, if he wanted it, it probably would have happened. I don't think he wanted it, but if he wanted it, it probably would have ended up with him. I'll be honest. I was thinking about it when I was going there. Ooh, there we go. Gold Perseus.
yeah, not
Oh
not a
yeah.
great Beyblade, but I love how it looks. It looks beautiful.
Cool.
Um, also the gold wedge. You got to love the gold wedge. So overall, Wacko, um, I guess if you had to assign a letter grade to the entire experience, what would you grade it?
Let's think. I think I'd give it a B because at the end of the day, it was a really good tournament.
Okay.
The organizers did the best with what they had, but there was obviously some slip ups, but they got corrected. They dealt with them. They got through the tournament, and I think that's something to be commended.
Instead of just swiping
Yeah,
some stuff under the rug and be like, "Oh yeah, that never happened," or "Oh, let's just not address it right here. It might go away." Like the whole water
Yeah.
situation. No water fountain, no any sort of hydration, but kind of made it happen with a bottled water plus food and egg fixed in the toilet. So they
Yeah, it got done.
I guess Egg's pretty tall, so
Woo.
Egg's gonna be Luigi. For now, I'm just gonna start calling him Luigi.
Luigi
Um,
salad.
Let, let's
so
go. Yahoo.
then Wacko, let me ask you this, okay? Because this is
Uh-oh.
something that a lot of people don't think about when they think about events, and I'm guilty of this myself, right? I look at an
Oh
event, I'm
boy.
like, well, how much is it going to cost? Is this a good value proposition for me? But what I think I forget about, I'm sure other people do too, is, do you think that not just the event, but the journey to and from the event was significantly enhanced because you were able to go with other members of your local community?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I think if I had went there by myself, I wouldn't have had nearly as good of an experience. I don't think we could have had a better group going there. Everybody who went was awesome. We I couldn't have done it without having that group of people there. I couldn't have got as far as I did.
Good support system.
Well, I
let's
mean,
go.
yeah, I was gonna say, shout out to the other seven persons from Minnesota who went with Wacko. It sounds like he had a great time with y'all. I know you guys have been talking on Discord. Sounds like everyone had a great time, and it seems like a lot of y'all are planning on going to Chicago in July. Is that correct?
I think that's true, yeah. At least a good portion of the group is going to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Someone just said, "We love you, Wacko." I'm curious. Jacked037. I can ascertain you are one of the people who went to Michigan from Minnesota, but that name doesn't look familiar. Which person are you? I think it's McThunder or it's Grizzly. That's my guess.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it's not Joe, not Egg, not Wayward. Obviously, not Wacko.
Well,
I mean, it could be.
Well, it's not Wacko, and it was a process of deduction, right? It's not Wacko because he's on here, and it's not Wayward because I know Wayward's account. Grizzly, it's Grizzly. But they mentioned making top 64, and so there's only two choices, right?
That's true, yeah.
He said
I was really hoping
Grizzly.
because I think Grizzly was on the opposite side of bracket than me, and he made it through his first round as well. So I was kind of hoping because he was the top of round 2, and I was the bottom of round 2. So I thought it'd be really cool if we both made it all the way. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening for us, but the story that came out of both the Toronto crew guys making it to the top match, I think that was great for them. Made a really good story out of the event. 2 Toronto guys fighting for the car. It was a really good match to watch. I really enjoyed that one.
Is the Jude guy also from Toronto?
Now that I say that, I'm not actually sure, but I know they know each other.
Oh,
I'm absolutely sure that they knew each other.
Oh my God, Grizzly Ghost got smoked by Crumbs.
Oh, did you? Oh, no way. I didn't remember that.
I mean, it happens.
Oh yeah. In round 2 of Top Cut.
Oof, right off the
Grizzly,
rip.
yeah, Grizzly was seeded 33. He beat 32 in his first round, then played against Crumbs, and Crumbs got him. To be fair, Grizzly, if I recall correctly, your first round of Swiss, you beat the number 1 ranked player on WBO 4-0. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Grizz he beat Pro Cookies. I remember that.
Yeah, Grizz is just a top blader in Minnesota, so.
Yeah, absolutely. So Wacko, was there anything else you wanted to say about the event? Like any kind of final thoughts or things you didn't feel like you had to touch on? Anything?
Let's see. I kind of got to thank everybody already. That was mostly what I was gonna do at the end of the talk, but again, thanks to everybody who made the trip possible. Egg for doing most of the driving. Joe Star for also driving a little bit of the way back, and
Yeah,
he kind of ended up being the group mom, getting us everywhere, getting us doing what we needed to be doing.
Actually, I heard on the way back. I heard on the way back something else happened with Joe Star.
Yeah, we may or may not have gotten stopped temporarily on the way back, but we made it up. We all made it back home.
Oh my!
Thanks to Battleship was my main practice partner. We all practiced with each other, but me and Battleship were playing the most the night before. He's a great guy. Thanks to McThunder, Vic, who have I not said? Grizzly, Egg, I already said. I'm just going to say everybody. Joe Star, and Wayward, and why can't I remember the last person's name? I'm so disorganized.
I feel like you hit everybody.
What did I not say? Did I hit everybody?
I think you did.
I might have just miscounted on my hands. Okay.
Yeah, McThunder.
Yeah.
Grizz, Battleship, Wayward, Egg, Vic, Joestar, and then you're number 8. And there's 8 total.
Okay,
right?
that is everybody. Good. I didn't forget.
Yeah, you hit
everybody. Yeah, you're just forgetting yourself. It's okay.
Yeah.
Dang. Imagine forgetting yourself in the roll call. That's crazy.
Who are you?
Honestly, it does kind of feel like
I'm a member of the Spin Zone podcast.
It kind of felt like I was just kind of there. Everybody else got me there. I got to play my best without thinking that much, thanks to all of them. And then they got me back. I'm thankful for that.
In the comment section, we got...
Yeah, had to chase down the judge and made him change my score.
Oh, yeah. So the first round match where I just mentioned Grizzly 4-0'd the number 1 WBO player, it was originally entered in challenge that Grizzly lost. because like I was like tracking on Discord and like, you know, oh, this person won, this person lost, because not everyone had found the challenge yet or was paying that close of attention. And then Grizzly corrected me. He's like, no, I won. And I'm like, but it says you lost. He's like, yeah, I had to go chase down the judge and get him to fix it.
Yeah, they were cutting it close too, because round 1 was almost over by the time they fixed it. So it's a good thing they got it fixed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So apparently, did Joestar lose his wallet or forget his wallet at some point?
No.
Or who forgot their wallet?
Oh,
someone. Okay, so you do know what I'm talking about. Oh, you forgot your wallet.
I need to expand on the Arrow story. I forgot. So I didn't have my wallet all weekend. So, and the guys selling Arrow didn't have Venmo or PayPal. So I had to go
That's
beg
wild.
Egg for $140.
Oh,
and I could Venmo him back, and he gave me $140. So thanks for that, Egg. I forgot about that.
That's wonderful.
Imagine being in 2026 and not having Cash App or Venmo or even PayPal.
I think I had Cash App, but I don't have Cash App. I had 2 out of the 3. I just didn't have the one that they had.
Was that an actual vendor or was it just someone selling this stuff?
It was, I mean, it was a vendor at the event. They had the table right next to us.
Egg would like me to remind you he also covered your entry fee.
Oh, he did do that.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I just get in my car. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Where's my money? I'm sure the front desk will have Venmo. It'll be fine. There won't be any problems here. I get to the front desk. They say, no, we have hard cash or Cash App. And I go, oh no, I don't have Cash App. So...
Oh, and you don't have it sounds like you don't have a credit card set up to like Samsung Pay or Apple Pay or something like that, do you? Oh, that's
I do now.
Oh my god.
I do now.
I do now just in case, right? No, it's one of those things where like, you know, I've always, you know, tried to take everything. So I do have Venmo, I have Cash App, I have PayPal, I have, you know, I can take credit cards, and obviously I take cash. But a lot of places are not like that.
Wayward.
Yeah, I kind of got spoiled by you. I'm like, surely it'll be fine. I'm sure Venmo can cover me for the weekend.
Wayward set up in chat. I guess it's time to sell the Velk.
No, I need it. I've got my wallet.
No, I need that. I need that Valkyrie.
I've got my wallet. I paid everybody. I swear. I sent Egg his payment today. I almost forgot.
I did want to comment on one of Wayward's other comments here though. Wayward said to bring 8 people and have 4 make it into Top Cut, then 1 going the distance. Congratulations on 3rd place, Wacko. I think that was a really nice comment. I think the Minnesota team really rolled up and you know, showed people, even though we're a small tiny state people forget about, still some pretty good bladers here. So that was pretty dope. I think you guys played great. And
I don't think we could have
Joestar
performed as well as we did without having that exact group of people there. We needed everybody.
Yeah.
Joestar said Wayward was killing it with networking and selling stands.
Oh yeah,
I heard some good things. To be fair, Joestar, I also heard that you were selling some stands while Wayward was playing his matches. That's word on the street.
That's true.
That Wayward would come trotting back from his match or whatever, and you had some money waiting for him every time.
Dude, what a straight G.
Bro, Joestar taking care of the stands, taking care of the pizza. I mean, just stepping up and balling out. You love to hear it.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think that event would have been
so true.
like half that stuff at the event wouldn't have been possible without the Minnesota scene. And someone said up in TikTok, Minnesota has a tough scene. And it's getting there. It's taken a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of dedication, a lot of showing up on everyone's part. And it's true. We got a really good scene out here up in the Twins.
Yep, and when we get it done, we get it done.
Okay, so Joestar just said I was Wayward 2.0. I 100% promise I'm going to remember that. And the next time I call him up for a match, I'm gonna call him Wayward 2.
I'm dead.
Electric
And we're
Boogaloo.
we're gonna see if he remembers or not.
He probably won't.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will actually. I
Nah,
think he will.
possibly. But yeah,
So-
Minnesota scene is blowing up. So if you guys haven't heard about Minnesota, we be coming. We could be coming for you.
And we've got some big events
Thank you
coming
for
up, so you
fixing
could be
that
coming here.
sentence last minute there.
I fix it just
What did
on
Chad
purpose.
just say?
I'll tell you when you're older.
I feel like Chad said something inappropriate.
No, I just mentioned the fact that something he said could be construed as inappropriate because of the way he said it.
Really?
We here at because he said, "Oh, we here in the Minnesota scene, we be coming."
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
We be coming for
well,
you.
I mean, people will be coming here to Minnesota hopefully soon.
Especially June 6th.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want people to come over to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Come have some fun with the Spin Zone podcast.
No.
Someone's asking
They could.
Someone's asking up on TikTok, what is a good combo for Vault?
Ooh. See. I mean, you probably just do standard heavy slop. I don't know, heavy Volk chip. Maybe put 150 on it and like kick, level, rush, low rush. Just classic attack setup.
Yeah, Wackel. That's much nicer than what I was gonna say, which is the best build for Valkyrie Volt is to leave it in its display stand.
Yeah, it's to put
Jesus.
blast where Volt is and then do that instead. But if you want to use Volt, then just like put it on heavy standard attack stuff. Yeah, that's what
Yep.
you do.
Just like Egg is saying up in chat, don't use it. CX is trash.
Oh my god, you guys see
Golly.
Knuckles on here? So apparently Knuckles graduates from high school on June 6th. So he goes, if I show up to the tournament on June 6th in my graduation gown, do I get in for free?
For the limited tournament, yeah, why not?
Hey, I cannot sanction that. I have to consult the rest of the team on that.
I have no power over that
You know
tournament.
what?
So
You know what? Actually, I've got a great answer to it. As long as you don't get hacked anymore in Discord, you can wear whatever you want.
Oh no!
Whoa. No, that
was
to me,
funny.
yeah, that was too bad that happened. But to be fair, he sorted it out immediately. You know, I don't want
Yeah,
to
right
get
away.
shit for that.
Anyway, back.
Hey,
let's get,
someone's got to poke just a little bit of fun at him for that. But I can totally understand how that could happen. But at the same time, he's a good friend, so I can poke him a little bit about it.
As long as it's good natured, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. At least
So,
I hope everyone knows that like 90% of what I say is a joke and don't take me seriously, because if you do, you're going to give yourself a headache more than anyone else.
God. So Egg and Wayward both said that there were people asking at the event where the Spin Zone crew was.
There was some people.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah. they
Hey,
were
I
hoping you
mean, we're
guys were there.
popular and we've got a proper answer for that. Most of us were just unfortunately busy with other things that day. But if you want to see us, there's an event that's coming up real soon that you can see us at. Isn't that right, Danny?
Yeah, there is actually. For anyone who doesn't know, on June 6th here in Minnesota, we're having the Great Plains Beyblade Regional 2026. I think the events are actually up on the WBO now, so
Yes.
you can go check it out on the WBO. If you have any questions or concerns, there should be information there where you can get a hold of two of the co-organizers of the event, either Egg or Akuna, and you can reach out to them and ask any questions you may have. And then when you're ready to make the commitment, you can go ahead and get in touch with Egg, and he will get you the appropriate payment information. And then from there, we just add you right to the event on WBO, and you're all set to go. Nice and easy. So June 6th, doors at 11. We got limited starting at 12. And then, somewhere between 5 and 6, it'll depend on the flow of the day, is when we'll be doing ranked. And we're hoping to get out of there around midnight. So it's going to be a great day. Anyone who has any more questions, like I said, just check out the WBO events. If you just search for events in Minnesota, you'll see the limited one and the ranked one. So go ahead and check it out. You want me to go over the rest of the local events while we're doing that?
I mean, is there anything else about the Red Rumble, and then we can head into the
I thought
tournament
we were.
talk?
I thought we were kind of wrapped up.
And I thought so
Maybe
too.
I'm wrong.
Just making
Yeah.
sure because we weren't there and we just had some other stuff popping up on up in the YouTube chat, like someone forgetting a wallet and someone getting pulled over and some other interesting facts.
Oh.
But yeah, well, where were you, Chad? We just talked about that.
I was here.
Oh, good. All right, yeah, so if there's nothing else about the Red Line Rumble, I guess we can go ahead and talk about the tournaments here in the Minnesota scene.
Well, I just mentioned the North Star Beyblade 2026 on June 6th, so I'm not going to reiterate all that.
Oh.
Y'all just heard it.
Talk about the prices going up.
Oh, yeah. If you don't register by May 5th, the prices go up $5. So quit waiting and DM Egg today. All right, let's get it done.
And then is
Just
that going to be the same
do
price
it.
at the doors as well, or is there going to be another price hike?
I don't know that there's gonna be another price hike, but at the door might be a la carte as available only. We'll kind of see. Just you want to do it before May 6th, okay? You want to do it before May 6th. You don't want to spend any extra money, guys. It's one day, right? And we've been talking about this since the end of January. There's no reason people can't ask for it off. There's no reason you can't commit to it. There's no reason you can't tell your wife you're not going out to dinner with the in-laws that night. Like, you just tell them you got something going on.
Yeah, all day Beyblades, make it
get,
happen.
get it done. So with that being said, we have, I guess, this coming Saturday at Maplewood Mall, doors at noon, start time at 1. We have Next Spin Volume 2 hosted by Wayward. Now that event is already at cap. It's a 32 player event this time. It was capped very, very quickly. So if you want to try to get in, you're going to have to sit on WBO and you're going to have to refresh it. Otherwise, you're not going to get a spot. Last time we did have a couple morning of drops, so I'd pay attention the morning of, and see what you can figure out. But that one is full up. The other thing to mention is directly after that, I would say around 5:30 for anyone who's planning on coming by who wasn't able to get into the tournament, isn't just going to be hanging out free playing or whatever, is we are going to have the first judge workshop leading up to the June 6th event after the next spin event. So we're looking at that running probably from about 5:30 to 8. That's for all WBO certified judges in the state of Minnesota, but also for anyone who might want to become certified and would like to learn more about what judging is about. This is going to be a great opportunity to do that, and you're more than welcome to also attend. With that being said, everyone who attends one of these symposiums, workshops, or you want to call them, because there is going to be another one, which I'll get to in a minute, those people will have preferred status to judge at the June 6th event and to receive the benefits associated with that. So if you want to judge on June 6th and you do want to save on entry and things like that, you will want to attend at least one of these 2 workshops, because if you don't, you're going to be at the lowest priority. Anyone who went to one or both of these is going to be above you in that priority chain. So you should really try to attend one or the other. So that'll be from about 5:30 to 8. We're going to be covering all sorts of different things. We're going to be covering illegal parts, whether they're too worn down or they're broken. We're going to be covering fake Beyblades. We're going to be maybe there'll be a ratchet glued to something. Look out for that. We're going to cover midair collisions.
God.
We're going to cover specific rulings and kind of awkward situations, deck inspection, just all these different types of stuff. Maybe even things like how to tell if a stadium is illegal or not. So we're just going to be covering everything. We're definitely going to run some test matches and try to confuse people a little bit and give them some examples of, what to be watching out for. So it's going to be a great tool for all the current and hopefully future judges in Minnesota. to kind of stretch their judging muscles a little bit and start thinking about some unique and different situations they might not have considered. Make sure they have all the rules down pat. We're going to cover everything. Also, feet placement too. That's going to get covered. That needs to get covered.
Oh boy.
So with that being said, that's going to be after Wayward's event. So that's going to be a great fun day of Beyblade for everybody. This coming Saturday, the 25th. And then May 2nd, we have a team event at Kraken that's pending WBO approval right now. I'm hoping they approve it within, the next day or two. There'll be more information about that coming up, but that'll be same thing. 5 p.m. start time, doors either 4 or 4:30, depending on what's going on at Kraken that day. And then the following weekend, the 9th, we're off. The 16th, it's going to be a ranked event at Kraken that's also hosted by me. Again, more details to come. That's also pending on the WBO, so look for that in the next day or two. Then the following weekend is the 23rd and the 24th. The 23rd at the Maplewood Mall, doors at noon, 1 p.m. start time is going to be Next Spin Volume 3, which is also going to be a Baycon qualifier for anyone who is interested in that. So there's going to be some different rules than we're used to, kind of like the Masters test event last weekend. It's pretty similar to that. I'm not sure if it's 100% the same, but it's pretty close. We will be playing to 4 that weekend and things like that. Wayward may even change the stand height for that event to prepare whoever wins for playing at Baycon, because they are going to be using slightly lower stands. He's not 100% sure on that yet, but it's just something that was kind of being mulled over. So that's going to be pretty cool. And, I think everyone's excited for that. Then the 24th, and this is the first time in a long time we've had an X event on a Sunday, but the 24th, Sam will be hosting some type of unranked X event at Kraken in the small room. I can't speak to start time on that. I do not know, because Sunday's a weird day for Kraken. We don't usually play there. So you'll have to keep your eyes either on the Discord or the WBO, but that'll be Sunday the 24th. And then we also are going to have an event from Sam on Saturday the 30th at Kraken Hits. Again, likely unranked, but I'm not sure the exact format beyond that. Keep your eyes on the Discord and the WBO. And then the last thing I kind of forgot throughout all of this is the day after my event on the 16th. So on the 17th, which is a Sunday at Kraken Hits, we are going to be having the second judge workshop starting at 4 p.m., probably going, let's say to about 6:37, somewhere in there. And, people can hang out and play afterwards if they want to, it's all Gucci. And that'll just be covering all the same types of things I talked about with the first judge workshop. Again, remember everyone, we would love to see everybody at both. We're only asking you to attend one to get preferred status for judging on June 6th. So if you can't make both, don't stress out. It's not going to count against you as long as you get to one or the other. So, and then June 6th after that. And then we got Contact later in August, which is maybe we'll probably almost have to bring Wayward on the show to talk about Contact. I don't want to get too deep into that right now, but it's going to be pretty dope.
Yeah, that Contact is going to be.
Yep,
that one's going to be August 21st through the 22nd. It is a 3-day event in Plymouth, Minnesota. Basically, more info to basically come on that as well. But Vile, you actually missed one free play event.
Oh no, I did. Oh my God, I'm so used to rattling them off. I forgot the one at the brewery. Why don't you go ahead, Kate?
Yep. So on May 10th at Broken Clock Brewery, I believe it is for people 21 and over. So unfortunately, you have to be 21 or older to be able to come to this free play. But it is Brewing for Battle free play, starting at 12 p.m. noon and goes until about 4 o'clock or so. Go ahead, get some drinks, shoot some Beyblades, have a good time. It's going to be good, actually really fun time for sure.
Oh, I mean, it will be for multiple reasons.
What would the other reason be about, Chad?
I think it's safe to say we have a birthday we're celebrating on that day.
Happy birthday, Vile!
Oh, thanks, Cake. I appreciate it.
Tig, this is why your parents don't text you as often as you would like.
It's weird. I was just texting my
Oh.
mom earlier.
I
'Cause
I
she came up in
retract
my
my previous statement.
well, good, because she came in on the TikTok chat and I saw her. But yeah, it's gonna be a
Oh.
really good event. It's actually Chad's birthday, so if you want to come out, shoot some bays, have some drinks, wish Chad a very happy birthday, more reason to come out. Let someone uh gonna
So a
be
couple things real quick.
yeah, that's about it.
I am reading the chat right now. Wayward wanted to let people know that not this coming weekend's event, but for his Baycon qualifier on the 23rd, he is going to try to raise the cap from 32. No, I'm not sure exactly where he's going to set it. I've heard maybe somewhere in the 40s, but don't quote me on that. That's just conjecture at this point. But he is trying to get that cap up so that more people have a chance to try to win that ticket to Baycon. I'm sure that he will let people know more information as it develops on that. And the other thing that I totally forgot. See, I keep forgetting everything now.
Yeah, I know. There's
Oh,
there's
gosh.
just so much
It
shit going on in the Minnesota scene. It's especially this month. I remember where it was just this, and this, and that's it. But now we
well,
got so much stuff going on recently. It first off, it's amazing that we always have something going on Beyblade related in this state. So that's one reason why this game keeps growing the way that it is, because we always have stuff going on.
yeah, the tough part was the end of March into the beginning of April is kind of dry. And then we,
Very
even though there
true.
was an event on the 11th, it was kind of a different format. A lot of our top players were out of town for Michigan. So there's a rough few weeks there, but May is in full swing. That's the last thing I wanted to mention. May 6th, so Wednesday night at Kraken Hits Free Play. Obviously, we're going to have the normal free play and whatnot, but starting at 7:15 p.m., we are going to have the Papa D Invitational is going to be coming back. Now, we're going to run something one way or the other, and if it's smaller than the amount of players we're hoping to get, it'll just be a smaller prize. But if we get 22 or more players to show up and participate in this, so the number keeps creeping up a little bit. Last time it was 20, now it's 22. If that happens, this is totally free. All you got to do is show up and play, no entry fee, nothing like that. The winner is going to take home, again, if there is 22 or more players. If there is not, it'll be something smaller. But if there are 22 or more players, the winner is going to take home a full CX16 stadium set.
Oh.
So,
Whoa.
pretty cool prize for a free event. I think people should be excited about that. If you can make time on Wednesday night, you should definitely try to show up. Starting right around 7:15, we usually wrap up around 9:30, so not too super crazy late for people who have to work. So if you can make it out for that, you absolutely should try. We did have 20 people playing this past week when there is a Wayward spin stand on the line, and Watson brought that one home. So who's going to be the next Watson and take home a CX16 stadium set for absolutely free?
Which
That's
is
going to be dope
wild.
to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Other than that, I think we are kind of all good to wrap her up.
I think so.
I think so too. Wacko, any last words you have for the audience before we head out?
Thanks for watching. Show up to the big Minnesota events. If you think you could have placed third at the Red Line Rumble, I'm going to be at both of them. So show up. Try and beat me.
Oh yeah.
See, and if you don't come, then you're scared of Wacko. There you go. You're not. You're.
Yep.
Very, very true.
Phrasing.
All right, guys. Appreciate all you guys for checking out the podcast of the Spin Zone. Shout out to Wacko Carnival for coming out, spending some time with us, talking about his adventure over in the Mitten State. So thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule for coming on the podcast once again. And as always, the door is always open for you, buddy. So thank you so very much.
Always happy to be here.
Absolutely. And guys, make sure you go to baysandbricks.com, use code SPINZONE at checkout, and also go to malloftoys.com, use code SPINZONEPODCAST as well. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, because once we reach to that 200 follower mark, we will be giving away a free, once again, Wayward Spin stand to one lucky viewer. More details to come of that as well. Like, comment, and subscribe everywhere that you guys can find the Spin Zone podcast. And until next time, so long, stay safe out there. Have a great and awesome rest of your day, guys. Take care. Much love.
Bye bye.